So I came across this video where a Hebrew brother who is a leader, and there was an opportunity presented to him to minister to another young man, and the brother was sharing about that experience, and listening to them share about their experiences what prompted me to do this video. And so in him sharing about the experience, um, he basically foiled the ministry opportunity, but his perspective on it was not that. His perspective was that he approached this guy and he was being bold as a lion, being bold for the truth and sharing all of his knowledge with the guy. And basically the guy wasn't receptive of it, right? So it started off being said that it was an opportunity, someone who needed to be ministered to, right? And and the approach that the person took was to begin to tell them, to tell the person all about their testimony, all about their knowledge, and to, come at them with the truth of the history and all these different things. And the person was not receptive to it. Now, the brother who was telling the story started off saying that when he approached the young man, that his countenance and his words that he spoke let him know that he was dealing with a religious spirit, that the guy was, he seen a religious spirit on him. And some of the things that he said let him know kind of what angle he was going to be coming from. And but he proceeded to go into that door, gung-ho, and just increasing in zeal to get this knowledge to this young man, right? So as I was watching, it prompted me to want to do this video, because I feel like a lot of times our approach to ministry and approach to people uh, gets, the opportunities are lost because of ego, right? So the brother was basically saying, not realizing that he's communicating, is what I picked up from the video, was that my ego got in the way and this man ended up walking away and not wanting to hear anything I had to say, is what the conclusion was. But his perspective was that, our people are hard-hearted, which is true. Our people are hard-hearted and don't want to hear the truth. And I was just being bold as a lion and being zealous for the Most High Yah. So, but I see so much more in that, and so that's why I'm doing this video. I wanted to just share a couple of thoughts, right? So if we are approaching somebody and we can clearly see, as people, we all have different defense mechanisms, right? Things make us defensive easily, right? We have a lot of a lot of ego, a lot of pride, a lot of hurts, a lot of wounds. So we tend to easily, we size a person up quickly when we see them, where they're coming from. And once we think we know where they're coming from, we throw up a certain, a certain script that we usually go into, or we throw up a certain defense, right, based off of, whatever is triggered from our past experiences. So when you're communicating with somebody, the message has to be received, right? And a lot of times, in order for the message to be received, we have to be first received as a person, right? So if you're put off by a person, you might not receive what they have to say, even if it's something that's valuable, right? So, if somebody, you could be hungry and somebody's offering you food, but if the person that's offering you the food don't look right, you're not gonna take the food even though you're hungry, right? So, or if the person that's offering the food offends you right off the bat, you don't want that food no more. You'll knock the food right out their hand, because they've offended you, and that takes precedence over the fact that you may in fact be hungry, right? So that means if we want to be skillful in communicating with people and actually have them to receive the message, we have to have the skill set to do that, and we have to have the we have to cultivate ourselves in patience and wisdom to be able to be effective, right? Why spend time doing something if you're not going to be effective in doing it, right? So, especially if you consider yourself to be a teacher and a leader, right? We want to be effective as we can, right? We don't want to get in the way of whatever the Most High wants to do. So whenever we're approaching someone, we should first of all take the perspective of prayer and patience and waiting to see what is it that the Most High is doing, right? So in this particular scenario, what the brother was describing, like, he went in gung ho telling his testimony and his knowledge and all these things, but like, why not approach the brother to see why the Most High sent you here? Why did the Most High send me to this brother? In what way does he need to be ministered to? Let me allow him to talk. Let me ask him some questions. Let me find out a little bit about him. Hey, brother, tell me about yourself, or just allow the brother to talk to see where he's actually coming from, or let him talk long enough to identify what the need actually is, because it may not be for him to understand the Council of Nicaea today. That might not be where the Most High is going with this, even though you feel like this is where it needs to be told because it's the truth. What is it that the Most High is intending to happen today? What's going on in this brother's heart? We think that a lot of times that our knowledge is what's needed. Knowledge is not what breaks down, barriers a lot of times, right? It is. So we have to be patient. We have to be, attentive to what the Most High Yah is doing, and what's going on with a person, and be prayerful and sensitive to what's going on. So, I see a couple of different things that we have to that the Most High may be sending us to do, right? So a lot of us feel like it's our job to plant a seed, right? Like we going and we decided we're going to drop the seeds, we're going to take this knowledge, and we're going to we're going to make sure this person received this knowledge. But it's four parts to a person receiving something. The first thing is that the Most High may be sending you to plow the ground, right? If you're planting a seed, if you're planting a literal seed, right? The seed, first of all, the ground has to be made ready for that seed. The ground has to be made ready. So if you have some dirt that is hard, it has not been turned, that is hard, it's compact. If you go and just drop seeds on it, the seeds are just going to sit on top of the soil, right? Because the soil is hard. It's not ready to receive seed, right? When you see people plowing dirt and they're lifting it and they're turning it, and then you have the end result of soil that is loose and ready to receive seed, right? So the Most High may be sending you to plow the ground, right? Or he may be sending you to be the one that drops seed, or he may be sending you to water the ground, right? And it's him that brings the increase. You know what I mean? The Most High brings the increase. So let's go back to the beginning. If the Most High may be sending you to plow the ground, to loosen up the ground, we know that as a people, we are hard-hearted and stiff-necked. We know that we are wounded. We know that we are proud. We know that we are dealing with a fortified wall a lot of times when we're trying to present something to our people, be it a family member or a stranger. It doesn't matter, so we have to be able to not think that we coming in with a wrecking balls to try to break this wall down. The Most High sending me to break down the defenses and to bust and kick the door in, right? The Most High may be sending you with all the knowledge that you have, that you feel like you have to be given at this moment. He may just want you to turn the soil, right? Soften up. Help me soften up this person's heart, right? It may take 7 people, especially today. Okay, you have Hebrews and you have Hebrew Israelites that are out on the corners and in the camps, and the ones who are known to be a little bit boisterous and argumentative and different things, right? That's not everybody, but that's the popular thing that's out there that most people have become familiar with, especially if you are from certain cities like New York, right? So if somebody sees a Hebrew coming with their fringes on and things, before you even approach the person, they already, if they're not already open, they're going to put up a defense. So so you walk up to a pastor at a church with your fringes on and all this stuff or whatever, and he's ready for you. He see you coming and he's ready for you, like, and you think you're gonna come up with, hey pastor, you know that the letter J is 500, you're only 500 years old, and you know that Sunday is not the day. You come up with all these typical things, and he's ready for you to reject you and send you on your way, right? So instead of trying to drop these seeds on everybody, maybe the Most High wants you to turn the soil, right? What would that look like? You walking up to a pastor with your fringes on and all your stuff, and you walking up on a Sunday in the parking lot, and you walk up to him, and he's like, oh, here we go. He done called the deacon over. Come on, hey, here we go. It's about to go down, and you walk up to him, and instead of trying to be like, hey sir, today's Sunday, you're supposed to be keeping the Sabbath on Saturday and all the typical stuff. How about you just say, bless you, elder. Bless you, elder. I saw that your trash can was overflowing over here. I'm getting ready to go to the dump. Can I take that for you and throw that, take that off your hands this morning? Oh, sure. Thank you. Or, oh no, we got it. Appreciate it. Okay, all right. Bless you, elder. Shalom, and walk away. He's thrown off now. He's like, oh, I'm thinking this brother about to come over here with that nonsense. He just came over to try to give a helping hand and went on his way. Okay, all right, and it may take 7 times for him to encounter somebody who's not trying to force something down his throat, but that just actually wanted to show some kindness or show some respect or show some, some sort of display of the fruit of the Spirit. It may take 7 people who look like that to approach him in that type of way, in order for the soil of his heart to start to turn and become softened, so that now the 8th person that comes, he's not defensive no more, right? He don't have his defenses all the way up. He's extending his hand. He's the 8th person. He introduces himself. He walks up to him and says, hey, how you doing, son? He may even say shalom. You know what I mean? And then this brother may start a conversation and share his testimony, and may drop a seed or two that opens up this man's, understanding a little bit, and causes him to want to go do some research now. Now, pastor wants to go do some research because, he's encountered 7 of these people, who he had classified a certain way, but that showed him loving kindness and the fruit of the Spirit, and didn't try to teach him anything and throw all these seeds at him. And then now the eighth go around, he's now the Most High can send a person to drop the seed. So now that the soil has been turned and people have been sensitive enough to hear the Spirit say, I don't want you to talk about the Council of Nicaea today. I just want you to go shake this man's hand and bid him shalom, right? I just want you to shoot the breeze with him, tell him how beautiful the sun is today. I just want you to whatever, tell him, hey, look, your tire, you might want to get some air in your tire. Look like your tire's getting flat. Just wanted to let you know. Whatever. It takes 7 people to be sensitive to the Spirit, to be able to soften the person's heart, so that the Most High can send the 8th, 9th, and 10th person now with the seed to be sown in that softened heart. So now the person can come on the mission to drop the seeds of the information or the knowledge or the understanding or, perspective or testimony or whatever, so that now, that's does its job. So then the Most High will send somebody else later to come and water that, right? Water that seed, water it, and just send a little confirmation. Somebody that may just walk past, he may overhear, and be like, hey, that confirms this and that, and then the Most High can bring the increase out of that, and the Most High gets all esteem from that, right? So we have to know what our role is in any situation, and not assume that our role is to plant seeds all the time. Maybe the Most High wants us to help break up that soil. So sometimes the breaking up of soil may look like something like just softening the person's heart. Sometimes the breaking up of soil may be something that's more aggressive, right? So but we got to know what role it is that the Most High is having us to play. Sometimes that soil is hard because of most people believe what they believe, not necessarily because of whether it's true or not, but because of something that has happened in their life, because of something that has made their heart hard, right? It could be just that, hey, my ex believed this, so now I don't want to hear it because he was a jerk. It could be that, my wife, or my mother did this, or, it could be anything, that hardens a person's heart, and they need to be ministered to in a way that allows them to open back up again. I don't, Most High allowed my grandfather to die of cancer, so therefore I don't deal with the Most High. My grandmother did this and she was in the church, so I don't deal with the church. My uncle was a Hebrew, and he when he was younger, he molested my sister, so I don't fool with Hebrews. It don't have nothing to do with the belief systems or the trains of thought, but it has to do with something that happened to a person that has closed their heart. So a person may just need to be ministered to in their area of hurt in order for them to receive the information, right? He who wins souls is wise, but he who persists in their pride and in their ego and in their puffed up knowledge wins arguments and loses the soul, right? He who wins souls is wise, right? But he who wins arguments is just somebody who persists in their pride and doesn't want to humble themselves. Because if you approach somebody in pride, sometimes you got to humble yourself. You can't come against a fortified wall that is solid. Sometimes you got to hang back and see if you can go in the side door. You got to hang back and see if you can go in the back door. You got to hang back and see if maybe a gate on the side is open and that I can come in, versus trying to blow up a wall that has all these defenses on it, right? There's a time and a place for everything, okay? There's exceptions, all right? But for the most part, I don't think that we are sensitive to, especially when we know what we're dealing with. When we have the experience, we should know better, right? If we know, okay, I'm approaching somebody with a religious spirit because I'm familiar with these religious spirits, then why approach them in a way that that they're going to have a problem with, right? Like, fall back. You don't got to put out everything that you know every time that you approach somebody. You ain't got to let them know, hey, everything that you think and that you been through or that you have learned and, your education and your knowledge, like fall back, especially when you know what you're dealing with. You're approaching somebody that's proud. You're approaching somebody that's in a religious spirit. That you're approaching somebody that is not very learned, not very educated on things. Then why approach them talking language that's going over their head? Like, we have to humble ourselves and meet people where they need to be met in order to receive the message, right? That's like you want me to pick up you want me to meet you to get this package, but you give me the wrong address. How am I going to meet you, right? You want me to to get this package. I'm 3 feet tall, you 6.5 feet tall. I can't even reach your hand. You know what I mean? You all the way up here. I'm gonna need you to bend down and humble yourself, bend down, and hand me the package so that I can receive it, right? So we just have to be more humble and more attentive, more conscientious of what we're dealing with in the spirit, and so and recognize that it's not our knowledge that breaks doors open, right? It's not our knowledge that opens up hearts. Knowledge is not the key to opening up hearts that are hard. It's the spirit. It's the presence of the spirit. It's humility. It is patience. It is whatever it takes to connect to a person to cause them to put down that wall some. That's like when you go to a bank and people try to rob a bank. They got that little button that's right there. That all they got to do is push it. So if you're looking crazy, you come looking crazy, they gonna push the button on you. By the time you say you come in, or if you come in there with guns blazing, they're gonna push the little button. But if you come in there, I'm not telling you that you should try to rob a bank, but I'm just saying if you came in there and was pleasant and acted like a normal, then you would be able to get them away from the button, and then you could disarm them from doing that, right? But if you come in guns blazing, boop, they're gonna push that little button on you. Ain't gonna have 5-0 outside. The police gonna be out there, So you have to be wise, be innocent as a dove, but wise as a serpent. You got to use wisdom and walk in humility. The Messiah, like I always say, is our example. He was wise. He moved in a certain way that we got to learn how to move in that way. He spoke truth. He never not speak truth, right? But he approached each situation differently according to the need of that situation, And so he made sure that he penetrated. he got that dart in there. He got that word of truth is going to get through, the defenses. People were mad because he was penetrating the hearts of the people who hated him, and they were like, "Man, my heart's penetrated. He must die." And so he had a way about him of doing things. So we got to learn that way and how the Most High can use us, based on what we, our unique differences and how he's wired each one of us, to be able to do the same thing. So walk in wisdom. Are you here to plow the ground, just to break up that soil of the heart? Are you here to sow some seeds? Are you here to help water what has already been done before you got there, and to just help put a gentle rain on it, or a hard rain on it? Or which one of those roles is the Most High sending you there to do? It's not a missed opportunity. I think we think it's a missed opportunity if every person we see, we don't dump everything that we know on them. We think we done missed an opportunity. And that's not it. We're not trusting the Most High Yah to bring the increase. We're not trusting the process, and understanding that the Most High works through process, So, man, the best thing that, people, the things that we remember the most are the things that touch our hearts, not the information that people give us until it's time for us to receive that, right? If we take for granted that the fact that we were able to receive whatever truth that we have received is because the Most High himself took us through that process, to prepare us to receive what he gave to us, right? So it's so much value in just being able to turn that soil. I think that's the least tended to portion of that process of ministry. Everybody wants to drop a seed and say what they know, drop that knowledge, but how many people are willing to be patient and to just turn that soil, turn the soil of the heart, show kindness, show a willingness to listen. We don't want to hear your testimony today. Let this person talk, because nobody's probably listening to them. Most people today, it's hard pressed to get somebody to listen to you, to get somebody to listen to what you have to say from your point of view, and to take the time to understand why, where you coming from, or what you're feeling, what you've been through. People don't want to listen these days, so people are aching to be heard, So take the time to listen to somebody, even if you think that they're wrong, even if listen, understand, and then you may, in the listening, you're gonna get that little nugget to understand where the key is. Like, oh, this is why this brother, because people will basically tell you where to put the key. They'll tell you where the wound is. They'll tell you if you listen to them. But when we come thinking that we know already, now you're just ego to ego. And the Most High does not is not allowed that window of opportunity to minister in a situation. So I just pray that we humble ourselves and allow the Most High to use us, and allow the Most High to minister to people, and just accept the truth. Yes, we are hard-hearted, and we are hurt, and we are wounded, and we are egotistical, and let's not let's not come in in an unwise way, knowing what we already know, right? So, hope that makes sense. Share your thoughts in the comments, and blessings to you. Shalom and shalom.